Hey traders, it's John Fortune here with this week's Weekly Forex Forecast for the 25th of February to the 1st of March 2019. As always, we're going to start off with the US dollar index and oil before running through a number of markets, looking at the key levels of support and resistance in the process. And we're also going to be highlighting some of the targets that we're going to be looking for in the coming week and also in the weeks ahead. Now, just before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that we've made some upgrades to the charts and the information. As you guys know, each week we look at the dynamic support and resistance for the week, and we are still going to be doing that. However, we have also added in now the medium and major key areas of support and resistance. These are the major turning points in the markets, and by adding in the medium and the major turning points in the markets, as well as what we already do on a weekly basis, this should give you guys a fantastic outlook of where the major turning points could be in the markets. We have added this extra information in. It does take longer to do, but I think you guys are going to enjoy this, and I think you guys are going to find it a lot more clearer. It's going to paint a very clear picture of what the markets are doing each week and where the big turning points are. So the one thing you will notice is we do have dotted lines here for the near-term support and resistance. We have the dashed lines for the medium support and resistance levels, and we have the solid lines down here are the major, the big turning points and key areas of support and resistance in the markets. So when we go through the charts, you will see this format laid out like this, and this, as I say, will give us not just the direction that we're looking for and how we start the week, but also it will differentiate between the major, the medium and near-term support and resistance levels. The other thing that when we do this, you will start to see the markets which are trending and also the markets which are in a range, and this should also help differentiate some of the better opportunities for the week ahead. So I hope you'll enjoy the new additions to the charts. Let's jump over to the charts and see where the money is this week. So the first market we're going to look at is the US dollar index. Now last week we put in this reversal pattern, head and shoulders reversal pattern at a key area, medium tier resistance of the 96.98. We start the week below the key near-term broken support, turning resistance already at the 96.68. As a result, we go into this week with a bearish bias on the US dollar index, and we're looking for further declines down towards the next key area of support to the downside and the target set, the 95.98. And if we can get a breakthrough here, and you can see this is near-term support here at the 95.98 by this dotted line. If we can get a breakthrough here, we're going to be looking down towards the next key area of support to the downside and this major support area of the 95.16. So as we've had this head and shoulders reversal at the 96.98 and we start the week below the key area of broken support, turning resistance at the 96.68, we are going into this week with a bearish bias on the US dollar index. So the next market we're going to look at is crude oil. Now we start the week above a key area of broken resistance from the past, looking to potentially turn support at the 55.590. If we can get a pullback this week, and potentially if we can get a pullback and a retest of broken resistance turning support, this is going to be a great place to start to look for bullish formations and patterns. And we're going to be looking at initiating longs up towards the next key area of resistance to the upside and the target set, and this near-term resistance here with the dotted line at the 59.29. So the first pair we're going to look at is euro dollar. Now we start the week above a key area of broken resistance from the past, looking to turn support at the 1.1301. You can see that this is quite an important support area here. We actually were trading down below it last week, and then we reversed back above it. So very simply put, as we start the week above the key area of broken resistance, looking to turn support at the 1.1301. If we can get a pullback, and you can see we're already forming a correction, if we can get a further pullback, preferably if we can get a retest once more of broken resistance turning support, this is going to be a great place to start to look for bullish formations and patterns. And we're going to be looking at initiating longs up towards the next key area of resistance to the upside and the target set at the 1.1390. And if we can get a breakthrough here, we're going to be looking up towards the next key area of resistance to the upside and target 2 at the 1.1417. Now it may take a couple of weeks, but if we can break above both of these key areas of resistance here, we start to test this as support, we're going to be looking up towards the next key area of resistance to the upside at the 1.1514. So the next pair we're going to look at is pound dollar. Now we start the week above two key broken areas of resistance from the past, looking to turn support at the 1.29680 and just below that at the 1.29570. You can see we've already tested once, but ideally if we can get another pullback and a retest of broken resistance turning supports, this is going to be a great place to start to look for bullish formations and patterns. We're going to be looking for a continuation here up towards the next key area resistance to the upside, and you can see it's a mid-tier resistance here at the 1.3213. And if we can get a break through here, because these bigger resistance areas can actually reverse price to the downside, so if we can get a break through the 1.3213 and we can start to test the other side of it, this is going to be a great place to start to look once again for further advances in the pound dollar up towards the next key area resistance to the upside and target 2 at the 1.3297. So the next market we're going to look at is US dollar Japanese yen. Now we are approaching a key area of resistance, and you can see it's a mid-tier resistance here, the 111.370. We pretty much did nothing last week. We had an inside week, price just chopped about. So going into next week, if we are looking for weakness in the US dollar, we're going to be looking for this to pull back and retest the 110.120. When it does this, we will of course be keeping an eye on the dollar, and it may be that this just decreases to the downside next week, and then the week after we start to see a bounce to the upside. But once we get this pullback, this is going to be an area we're going to start to look for bullish formations and patterns, and we're going to be looking at initiating longs up towards the next key area resistance to the upside and the target set at the 111.37. And if we can break through here, although this is an important resistance area, we're going to be looking up towards the next key area resistance to the upside and target 2 at the 112.22. So just to reiterate, we are still structured to the upside in the US dollar yen. Even though we're looking for dollar weakness next week, it may just be that the dollar weakness in this pair is a correction down into the 110.120. So the next market we're going to look at is Aussie dollar. Now we actually start the week inside a range, and we bounced last week at the key area of support, the 0.70760. This is an area where we're going to start to look, see if we can get a pullback and possibly another retest of the range bottom at the 0.70760. If we can get a pullback and a retest of the range bottom, this is going to be a great area to start to look for bullish formations and patterns. And if we get the right kind of bullish formations and patterns in this area, we're going to be looking for a bounce up to the range top at the 0.7235. And if we can get a break through here, we're going to be looking up towards the next key area resistance to the upside and target 2, which is a more important key area of resistance up here, has the ability to reverse the market at the 0.7294. So the next market we're going to look at is New Zealand dollar. Now we start the week above a major area of broken resistance, turning support at 0.67810. If we can get a pullback, and we're going to be looking for a correction going into next week, and any correction in this area, preferably if we can get another retest of broken resistance turning supports, but any correction in this area is going to provide us with an opportunity to start to look for bullish formations and patterns. We're going to be looking at initiating longs up towards the next key area of resistance to the upside and the target set, the 0.6941. And if we can get a break through here, although they're very close together, so you could just look at this as a more conservative target and a more aggressive target. If we can get a break through here, we're going to be looking up towards the next key area resistance to the upside at the 0.6969. Just bear in mind, this is an important resistance area at the 6969, and this actually does have the ability to reverse the market. So just be aware of this. If we're going to be looking for further advances, we would need to be above the 0.6969. So the next market we're going to look at is US dollar franc. Now we actually start the week inside a range in the US dollar franc between the key area of support at 0.9990, and we also have a key area of resistance at the 1.00280. As we are looking for further declines in the US dollar for Swiss franc, if we get a pullback and a retest of the range top at the 1.00280, this is an area, although it is more of an aggressive area, we could start to look for bearish formations and patterns. Alternatively, what I would like to see is if we can actually break the range bottom, it would be preferable to actually break the support first, and on a retest, if we can get a pullback and a retest of broken support turning resistance, this would be the area we start to look for bearish formations and patterns. And we're going to be looking at initiating shorts down towards the next key area of support to the downside and the target set, the 0.9908. And if we can get a break through here, we're going to be looking down towards the next key area of support to the downside and target 2 at the 0.9877. So just to reiterate, this is a more aggressive area for looking for an entry because you are trading into a support area. It is actually preferable to trade through the support area first and then look for this kind of a setup next week. This is what I'll be looking for in the US dollar Swiss franc. The next market we're going to look at is US dollar CAD. Now we start the week down below two key areas of broken support from the past, already turning resistance, as you can see here from this medium strength resistance area at the 1.32260. If we can get a pullback, and preferably if we can get a retest of broken support turning resistance, this is going to be a great place to start to look for bearish formations and patterns. And we're going to be looking at initiating shorts down towards the next key area support to the downside and the target set at the 1.3072. And if we can get a break through here, we're going to be looking down towards the next key area support to the downside and target 2 at the 1.2956. Now the reason that both of these levels are in black and the ones up here in green is because I would need to see price trading through both of these key areas before I started to look for further advances to the upside. So as long as we stay down below the 1.32260, we're still favouring shorts in the US dollar CAD. We'd have to clear both of these before we start looking for further advances. And last but by no means least, we have gold. Now we start the week, we're trending to the upside in gold, and we start the week having pulled back and retested a key area of broken resistance from the past, turning support at the 1.32250. If we can get one more pullback, and preferably if we can retest this area one more time, this is going to be a great place to start to look for bullish formations and patterns. And we're going to be looking at initiating longs up towards the next key area resistance to the upside and the target set at the 1357.50. And you can see this is a major area of resistance. This is a very, very big area of resistance. We would have to be breaking above here. If we can get a breakthrough here, we're going to be looking up towards the next key area resistance to the upside and target 2 at the 136520. You can also see that just above the target that we have set here, which is the medium strength resistance area, we have another major resistance area at the 136600. So we're going to be looking for the medium tier 1 as a target because it's not worth risking a couple of pips here for a reversal. But we are now trading in gold into major key areas of resistance, so keep an eye on these as we trade into them. So that is it from me for this week, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please let me know by liking, sharing and subscribing. A big thank you to everybody who does that on a regular basis, and a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. I want to wish you all a nice weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I hope you all have a profitable week next week. The only thing left to say is take care and don't forget to trade safely.